Have you ever just felt like you're off? Like you woke up and you're not on? I slept well. I did everything I needed to do. I feel off. Well, let's keep going. Hey, this is Lorena, and we're gonna do a personal work day. Yeah, personal. My work day. It's a work day for me. I want to prepare this month for, it's called a trunk show. Yeah, trunk show. So this month I was going to micromanage how many clients I was going to take in, which is not a bad thing, and really start getting serious about accomplishing some of my own projects. So project number one, this is a baby quilt that is for a big sister, and she's pregnant with the baby, and I'm using minky fabric. Minky fabric is kind of hard to work with because if you overstretch it, you can literally shrink in the quilt. Tip number one, put the leaders on the area of the minky that has the least stretch. And when you put it on, don't be pulling the minky at all. Do not stretch the minky. Minky stretches, and it is almost like a thicker back fabric. So when it contracts back, it really contracts. And so if you're stretching it and then you remove that stretching, it really will take in the quilt a lot. Another thing about minky, it's when you're pulling it with your pullers on the sides, you know what I mean, the clamps, when you're pulling it on the clamps, don't over pull. Do a light pull. Do not over pull it, because if you over pull it, you can end up warping it and stretching it too much, and then when you let it go, it contracts a lot more. So be careful with that. A lot of people like making these quilts without batting. I like the batting a lot. I like the batting a lot. As it is, it's a very, with the minky, it contracts a lot more because it'll take in. See, it's not even washed and it's already kind of like taking in a bit. It's shrinking, which I was making sure that I didn't overstretch it vertically and I didn't overstretch it horizontally. And so you want to kind of stretch it to make it a little taut, but not too much to where you remove that stretch, it will literally just shrink up on you. I love minky quilts. I do use batting with them. Some people say that they just want the quilt top without the batting, but look how it takes in. Texture, and I tried to highlight some of the shadowing that was here, and it's not awful, but I guess when you get real close to a quilt top or a piece of work that you're doing, And you just kind of get very critical in the process, or I do anyway. And then it just makes me stop. So I'm losing a layer of polyester and a layer of thin cotton so that it lofts. It's been years since I walked away, okay? It's been years. So years later, you know, you come back to it and you find out that maybe you're just being too hard on yourself. Practice is always growth. Finishing something is always beneficial, even if when you're in the process you don't like it. I just really kind of want to give myself the grace to make mistakes, to try new techniques, to play without criticism, and to try and just kind of pour my heart into this quilt a little bit. This is what I do look like after a hard quilt. I already put another quilt on. I really love this system where this is considered taken, those bottom bins. These bins are either empty or full. Yeah, I have a couple of them that are full, but all of these bins are for taken. They're for clients, and sometimes I could fit up to 3 quilts in there, so I could fit 1 full client in there, and then I'll take the quilts out and transition them to, I guess we could call this the prep station. When I'm ready to start working on the quilts, I transfer them over here to get them ready for like putting leaders, getting the bobbin ready, like all the prep work. And then I'm gonna get these 2 ready while this is quilting. So when this is done, right away I could put the quilt on the long arm. My empty bobbins are right here. Sweet little jar. My winder is here, my iron is here, and usually I have a starch up at the top with the iron, but I just kind of was cleaning up and moved them down there. I don't know if you remember this room. This is where I all started. I put my clients' quilts in those bins so that the client doesn't have to go to the backyard anymore, and I could just take it out to them in the parking lot. And so these are usually empty. Like right now they have the quilt here. So I put them in these bins. Most of these are empty. Downstairs, down at the bottom, I have my piecing blocks. You can see the back of it. You can see how this is not straight. I told my friend what happened is we were short. I could trim the border down and make it really small if I wanted to. And this way you don't see this, but I thought, well, I'll just leave it on. It's not horribly bad.